Hi, I'm Nicola Romaine, Primary Literacy Advisor at Pearson. Welcome to our Reading Framework series and this spotlight on choosing and organising books. So, overarching is that schools should provide different types of books to support pupils' reading development. The stage of pupils' reading development and the purpose for which they're reading determine the types of books that they need to read. First up are decodable books for learning to read. So people should be reading books that are consistent with their developing phonic knowledge and that do not require them to use other strategies to work out words. Some questions to reflect on. Are decodable books matched the progression of your school's chosen systematic synthetic phonics programme? And are decodable books stored separately so that teachers can select from them both for children's reading in class and for them to take home? Does your school offer parental support in understanding that the books sent home are matched to the GPCs that children can already decode? And then books for pupils to read independently, so post-decodable typically in year two. After reading the last decodable books, it's vital that pupils read widely and frequently in order to increase their confidence and fluency. So some questions to reflect on here. What is your school's strategy post-phonics to encourage children to read widely and frequently to increase their confidence and fluency? And how does your school encourage children to read books that include new vocabulary and new language structures? The extent of vocabulary and length of a book a child can read largely depends on their familiarity with it and their own motivation to read it. Selecting books that the teacher has read aloud and that the class has enjoyed together motivates pupils to read books that include new vocabulary and language structures that they might not otherwise have read for themselves. So, some questions then. Does your school encourage children to select books that the teacher has read aloud and that the class has enjoyed together to motivate pupils to read? And are children encouraged to choose from a wide range of books that they're familiar with and that they've been introduced to before through a teacher reading those books aloud? So, children should have ample opportunity to listen to teachers read aloud a wide range of books. So, typically, we have picture books, including graphic novels. And a question that you might ask would be: do teachers read a wide range of texts aloud to children to engage and motivate them? We have literature, engaging children with great books and stories written by a broad range of authors, ideas, and language, identifying a core set of literature for each year group that can either be read aloud in story times or read by pupils, and including high quality contemporary and classic texts across fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and prose. Some questions then. Do pupils in your school have access to contemporary and classic literature by a broad and diverse range of authors? And are teachers in your school supported in deepening their knowledge of children's literature and exploring new books from a range of diverse authors? We have long and short page turners. It's really important to provide books that provide the most pleasure that give the most pleasure to children as a hook to wanting to read and put in those all important reading miles. Some questions. Does your school provide and promote books that give the most pleasure? Is that a focus? And are children encouraged to recommend favourite books to their peers and talk about books that give them the most pleasure? And are non-fiction and poetry valued alongside fiction? Books for the wider curriculum. So, books that support content across the range of subjects. Reading about things gives a purpose to reading, increases reading miles, and gives purpose and understanding. Do texts broaden children's knowledge about the world around them, including other cultures? And do texts reflect a diverse range of voices and characters, reflecting the background of pupils in your school and society more widely? So books should be organised carefully so they're matched to the appropriate level and encourage book choice which will be engaging and appealing. Organising books by age, type, interest and subject is really, really important. Book lists should be refreshed regularly as new books are published and new teachers arrive to avoid those book lists being set in stone and to keep things fresh. Are book areas in your school high quality, accessible, owned, and loved by pupils? And does your school engage with the local library, literacy organisations, and educational publishers and their local sales representatives to keep up to date with new books? High-low books, ensuring engagement with books that provide high interest content at an easy reading level for those struggling readers. So high-low books can motivate struggling readers by providing books on topics that are engaging, that are also targeted towards their independent reading level, to build reading fluency, vocabulary, background knowledge, and an interest in reading. Does your school provide a range of high quality books that provide that high interest content at an easier reading level for struggling readers? And do the range of high-low books motivate struggling readers by covering that range of engaging topics? So some key takeaways then. Schools should provide different types of books to support pupils' reading development. The stage of pupils' reading development and the purposes for which they're reading determine the types of books they need to read. People should be reading books that are consistent with their developing phonic knowledge and that do not require them to use other strategies to work out words. After reading the last decodable books, it's vital that pupils read widely and frequently to increase their confidence and fluency. And the extent of vocabulary and length of a book a child can read largely depends on their familiarity with it and their motivation to read it. Children should have ample opportunity to listen to their teachers read aloud a wide range of books across the primary range. And providing books that give the most pleasure as a hook to wanting to read and putting in those all-important reading miles. Engaging children with great books and stories written by a broad range of authors, ideas and language, and providing books that support content and vocabulary across the range of subjects. Ensuring engagement with books that provide high interest content at an easier reading level for those struggling readers. And finally, books should be organised carefully so that they're matched to the appropriate reading level and encourage book choice, which will be engaging and appealing. So how can we help? We have a range of books across a range of genres and book types to help you to address all recommendations in the reading framework. Our books are relatable to children with a diverse range of themes and authors. We have Book Club Phonics, our systematic synthetic phonics programme with a range of decodable books from phase 1 to phase 5. We have Book Club Independent, fully decodable from phase 1 to phase 5, and then finely levelled from orange to dark red book bands to support fluency, comprehension and engagement across a range of genres. We have Book Club Shared, for reception to Key Stage 1 and ideal for that teacher read aloud with cross-curricular topics and vocabulary for explicit teaching of Tier 2 vocabulary. We have Reading Corner, an ebook library, also available in print. Children and teachers can select from a range of books according to interest, and these are ideal for the read aloud also across the whole primary range. We have Book Club Guided for comprehension and engagement. And finally, we have Rapid Reading, a wide range of high-low readers for struggling readers with engaging topics across a range of genres. Please do get in touch if you would like some more information.